What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com, and I still fucking hate planks. But you know what I do love? Puppies. This is Lucky, my new rescue dog. We got him from a shelter down in Alabama after some unbelievable human being, if we call him that, threw him out of a car and didn't want him anymore, and he was rescued on the side of a curb. You're going to be seeing more of Lucky here in our videos. He's the newest member of Team ATHLEAN. What's that? You still hate planks too? Okay, so Lucky has a problem with planks as well, and that's what we really need to address here today, and that is, why do I have this thing against planks? I did a video about this a little while back. It's got over 1.5 million views. People have seen it. I'm going to link it here and show it to you here again at the end of the video. You're going to want to watch that. And what I probably presented there was maybe the beginner side of the alternatives to planks. See, if you want to get better or stronger at anything, you need to find a way to challenge yourself. And the best way to challenge yourself is to apply levels of intensity to your exercises that make them more difficult. The argument would be the same if you were doing a bench press and you used 20-pound dumbbells and you were capable of lifting 100s. If all you did were those 20s and you added no intensity technique to that set, you didn't do rest pause, you didn't do super slow motion reps, you didn't do 1.5 reps, you didn't do anything different to those dumbbells in that set, then you are not creating overload, and far too many of us can handle far more than planks. So what I want to do here is give you more options and maybe even skew a little bit more to the intermediate and advanced level so that you have different things that you can do to ensure that you continue to make progression. So let's take a look at some of those options. Now right away, the first exercise you're going to see here is I'm standing to do it. Now, guys, you have to clarify, a plank doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be laying down in the ground, not in terms of what it is we're trying to accomplish. The purpose of a plank is to create an anti-extension or an anti-movement challenge for your body and for your core. Try to be able to stay in one solid position despite what the forces around your body are. And we know that we can do more than just resist extensions. Every time I go out, the resistance of that band is creating now an actual lateral force here, trying to bend me to the side and not just make me sag down the middle like a regular plank does. So this is a more versatile version of a plank. It's actually giving us a different challenge than a standard plank, but it's something your body is not accustomed to if you've only been doing standard planks. And we can still stay in standing here and challenge our body even different ways. Now we can do it in the rotational plane, and all we have to do is hold up a pair of dumbbells again in the same plank position. And now we do a very tight crossover, right? A grapevine with our feet as we walk side to side. And you'll feel as soon as I take that step, when I'm on one leg and I'm crossing over, getting that hip rotation from down below, having to maintain that stable core becomes a challenge. This would be a more intermediate version of what the advanced version is, and that is placing those dumbbells up overhead. Immediately now, by having our arms way up high, there's a lot more of that weight now that we have to consider and control, and it becomes even more challenging to maintain that upright torso as I do this grapevine walk and crossover front and back. But both of these, again, are versions of the same effect that a plank would create that are more challenging than just laying on the ground doing the same thing that you're already capable of doing. So now if you want to go down back into that more standard version of the plank though, in the same positioning here, let's get back on the ground, but let's not just sit here. Let's do something different. And this is a banded press out plank. What we do here is we load up one side with as heavy a band as we can handle. We get into the plank position, and now we try to drive that hand out against the resistance of the band. And again, what it's doing here is it's going to try to pull me to that side a little bit. Again, an anti-lateral element here that we're introducing that we don't have when we do the standard plank. We could take this even further now and get on top of a barbell. This is something I actually debuted on Instagram. If you're not following our Instagram, you should. It's over at ATHLEAN-X on Instagram. But what we're doing here now is the rotational challenge while still trying to maintain a tight core and doing so from the bottom and from the top. So we get our hands over the top of the bar, and now we try to twist that bar. And again, we're just allowing the arms to be twisted here by the shoulders, but we're really trying to resist everything from the chest down. The abs stay nice and tight, the transverse abdominis is engaged, the feet, the hips, everything is staying sturdy, and this becomes really challenging, especially if you do it on a surface here where the barbell is a little tougher to roll and get moving. Once you get it moving, too, you have the element of momentum. Can we actually control it? Because once it gets going in one direction, you got to stop it and then try to get it going back in the other direction. Definitely a challenging version here in this plank position. And then taking that difficulty level up even one more time, here is a wall jack plank. So again, we can plank but we put ourselves in a position where our feet are planted against the wall. Now we have to really drive our feet into the wall and really, really tighten our core to prevent them from falling down and sliding down that wall. But of course, you know that's not enough. We want to make it a little bit more difficult than that so we can start doing our wall jacks, which is essentially doing a horizontal jumping jack. And again, every time we jump our feet out and have to replant them again, it's going to require that instantaneous contraction there of the core that demand high levels of force and stability, and yet again, clearly take us to a level far more difficult than that boring ass plank. And then finally, we want to just get a little bit crazy. You can do this here. This is the tilting barbell plank. And what you're doing here is you're going to push down with one hand into the ground while lifting and rowing the elbow up on the other side. So we're actually turning this into, again, a three-dimensional plank, and we're getting it into almost a variation of a regular plank and a side plank as we're sort of stuck halfway in between. But the goal is to try to drive up, get into that side position, maintain it, stick it for as long as you can. Maybe 2 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds. And then come back down and then drive it up on the other side again. The options are unlimited. There's lots of things you can do, and even your approach to planks can be different as well. You don't have to always think of them as getting into one position and holding it one time. I'd rather see you get into a better position that's more challenging for you and do it 10 times, holding it for a shorter period of time each time. Treat it like reps, but the fact is you're still challenging your core much more than you are if you're just laying on the ground doing the same old plank that you're far more capable of doing better than. All right, guys, if you're looking for a program that really stresses progress at every turn, we know that in order to see changes, we have to introduce challenges to our body at every opportunity. And I do my best to do that for you week by week, day by day in all of our programs. If you're looking for one of our programs, head to ATHLEAN-X.com right now and get them in the meantime. If you found the video helpful, if you hate fucking planks as well, make sure you leave your comments down below as well, and I'm happy to read them. All right, guys, I'll be back here again in just a couple days. See ya.